Pag tiningnan mo ngayon ang NBA standings, magugulat ka sa mga teams na nasa taas ng Eastern at Western Conferences. Nagahari ngayon sa East ang Orlando Magic at Detroit Pistons, dalawang teams na mukhang destined for the lottery. Sa West naman, numero 1 ang grit and grind na Memphis Grizzlies, kahit pa small ball at fast-paced offense na ang uso ngayon sa basketball. Isa lang ba itong glitch o for real ba ang Magic, Grizzlies at Pistons? Let's talk to basketball analyst Nico Baguio tonight here on The Score. Nico, maraming salamat sa oras na binigay mo sa amin dito tonight to discuss these topics.
Yeah, it's always fun to talk NBA.
Alright, well, surprise teams na nanguna ngayon sa East at West. Simulan natin dito sa Western Conference. Of course, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. Brand new era. Nawala yung dalawang players who really embody the grit and grind atmosphere. Z-Bo. And of course, the grind father, si Tony Allen. Pero mukhang tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pag-arangkada ng Memphis. Why is that?
I think the organization made a great transition into the new era. Kasi nung nagsimula yung grit and grind, it was around 2011. Hindi pa nun naging super prolific itong pace and space era na pinalaganap ng Warriors.
Yeah.
So, but when the transition happened, the organization slowly shifted away from the grind it out style na mabagal and plodding people to more athletic. So they drafted Deontay Davis, Jarrell Martin, Wade Baldwin, although ni-release na nila si Wade Baldwin. Pero yun yung naging focus nila. And although wala na yung dalawang cornerstones ng grit and grind, they still have that defensive identity and slow play. Pero they have that pace and space style of an offense now. Especially now that Gasol is taking threes.
I was looking at the records earlier at nagulat din ako na 7 straight years na palang nasa playoffs itong Memphis Grizzlies, and now they're trying to continue that nga maski na wala na sina Z-Bo, sina Vince Carter, and looking at Memphis right now, they have Chandler Parsons who is improving. He had a couple of good games. But what about Mike Conley? Is this the year that finally makakapasok siya sa NBA AllStar Game?
To be honest, I don't think he'll ever become an All-Star.
Wow!
Because All-Stars are all about flair and numbers. And hindi naman ganun ka-impressive yung numbers ni Conley when you look at it from a purely like counting stats. So he usually averages around 18 points, 8 assists, about 1.5 steals. So hindi yun parang All-Star worthy. Pero I think in terms of impact, he's one of the best point guards in the NBA, even now. Especially now, actually. He's better now than he was 2 years, 3 years ago when the Mike Conley hype started to happen. So, although I don't think he'll be an All-Star now, he has to be considered for maybe he has to get votes for All-NBA team.
Do you think they will make the playoffs with this type of roster?
Oh yeah, definitely. At this point, parang the Memphis Grizzlies are getting the San Antonio Spurs reputation. Every year they get this na, okay, this is the year that the grit and grind doesn't get into the playoffs, and then every year they get into it, like 4th, 5th. I think the only seed they haven't gotten into in the lower part is 6th, which is, if I remember it correctly, parang nag-5 na sila, nag-7 and 8 na sila obviously. Pero yun nga, they always get into the playoffs. They always know how to get in because they have veterans, they have experience, and they know their identity, which is important in the NBA.
Okay. Now let's move over to the Eastern Conference, and 3 teams are at the top right now with identical 5-2 records. Yung Boston, yung Orlando, at yung Detroit. Now, Orlando hasn't been in the playoffs since 2012. Let's talk about the Magic a little bit. They don't have a star, but they have guys like Evan Fournier and Aaron Gordon who have really improved this season.
Orlando Magic, I know quite well for this season kasi I scouted them for the New Orleans Pelicans game today. The Magic are currently on a 7-game hot streak now. They're the top 3-point shooting team in the league. Although they don't take a lot, I think they've hit, right now they're at 45%, which is surprising considering they were one of the worst. They ranked 29th last year. The biggest improvements are coming from their 2 bigs, Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. See, Gordon, I think he didn't take a lot of threes, and he was below 30% last year. So it's quite surprising na right now he became like this prolific three-point shooter. The same with Vucevic, although meron na siyang mid-range shot last year. That's the biggest component, along with yung continued improvement ni Fournier, who's only 25 right now.
And I was also surprised to see na 17 plus ang ina-average ni Fournier nung nakaraang season. Ngayon, sa mga players na to na binanggit mo, Nico, may chance bang one of them becomes an all-star this year?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think will be it?
Yeah, if someone's going to be an all-star on this team, I think it's going to be Aaron Gordon. Although wala siya nung star quality na he can command an offense, he's sort of, as Zach Lowe, one of the basketball bloggers said, he can be sort of this mini Draymond Green. Orlando plays this very aggressive, switch-heavy defense, so Aaron Gordon is key to that defense. Although he's still not as strong physically as Draymond, he has that potential to be a defensive force. And then offensively, he's quick, so he can blow by slow force, and he has that three-point shooting now, which, although I don't think he'll continue to hit 53%, 52%, if he settles around 36 to 38%, that'll be enough to make him average 20 points and get into the All-Star, where in the East, where there aren't a lot of All-Star capable players.
Magandang storyline siguro yan, from a slam dunk participant twice, and now being a part of the All-Star game, kung sakaling mangyari na maging All-Star itong si Aaron Gordon. Now, let's move over to the other side and talk about the Detroit Pistons. 5-2 rin ang kanilang kartada. What surprises you the most about this team, aside from the addition of Avery Bradley?
To be honest, nothing completely surprised me because we already saw this version of the Pistons 2 years ago. They're this pick-and-roll heavy offense that mimics a lot of the actions that the Orlando Magic ran when Dwight Howard was there, because they had the same coach in Stan Van Gundy. Stan was one of the first people to incorporate pace and space and pick-and-roll heavy offenses into the league. So although I'm not surprised when I watch them because I've seen this, the biggest thing with the Pistons is that Drummond is healthy, Jackson is healthy, and then they aren't hurting with the loss of Caldwell Pope because of Bradley and because of the emergence of Stanley Johnson.
Andre Drummond was an all-star a couple of years back, was part of Team USA, pero parang naging stagnant na yung kanyang development. Why do you think this is so? I know Stan Van Gundy wants him to be more of a defensive type of player, but what do you see in Drummond's game in this particular season so far?
He's more energetic. That's largely, according to him, that's largely because of his surgery that he had in the off-season, where he had to fix a deviated septum. Apparently yun yung parang yung cartilage sa gitna ng nose, it's deviated to one way, kaya hindi ka makahinga ng mabuti. And last off-season, he had that surgery, so he's breathing better now, according to him, and that's helped his fatigue, his energy level on the court. And you can actually see it. He's the top offensive rebounding player in the league. He's one of the, I think he's currently the top second chance points creator in the league. So he's still the same player. Nothing has changed except for the fact that he's shooting 70% from the free throw line. Pero other than that, he's still the same player 2 years ago, which is good enough, great enough of a player.
Kaya lang sinasabihan siya ni Joel Embiid na hindi daw siya dumedepensa. Ano ang komento mo dito? Nagtitirahan na yung mga big men sa East, lalo na itong si Joel Embiid. Trash talking, and simple lang naman ang sinabi ni Andre Drummond, we'll see you in December.
Si Embiid kasi, like, well, to be honest, tama naman yung sinabi niya. Right now, nobody can defend Embiid. And I think 20-plus post-ups he scored on basically every one of them, even Hassan Whiteside and yun nga, si Drummond. So, hindi naman siya mali, pero hindi rin naman na hindi magaling dumepensa si Drummond. It's not, hindi lang siya ganon kagaling para depensahan si Embiid.
So, do you see Orlando and Detroit making it to the playoffs, or is this just luck to begin this season para sa mga kupunan na ito?
I think Detroit can make the playoffs because they have the veteran experience, the coaching behind it, and they know, at this point, they know how they want to play. That's important for an NBA team, to have that identity to stick to when the going gets tough. I think the Pistons have that. When Jackson's in, they play this pick and roll heavy that transitions into a flow offense. When Ish Smith is in, they play this very fast-paced up and down style. So they have that identity. Kaya nila pumasok. For the Magic, although tinalo nila kami kanina, I think it's at some point they're going to regress to the mean. In a sense na Aaron Gordon's not going to shoot 53%. Maurice Spites is not going to hit 6 out of 10 from the three-point line. Vucevic, all of their shooters, even Jonathan Simmons, he's hitting 50+% from the three. I don't think that will continue, and when that happens, parang wala pa akong nakikitang identity na pwede nilang puntahan when they can't score off their shot, when their three-point shots aren't going in, and when their offense bogs down.
O nga pala, si Nico, in case you don't know, he's the man of the New Orleans Pelicans. Nagalit na galit ang coach nyo, na si Alvin Gentry. Any comment, just a short comment on your Pelicans this year?
Let's go, Boogie Brow.
Kaya lang, natakot sila sa haunted house.
Oh, yeah. So, nakakatawa yun.
And Nico, maraming salamat sa oras and happy Halloween to you. See you again soon next time.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
For more sports updates, keep watching The Score. And don't forget to subscribe.